Hi everyone, I am Kathy Crabb and I'm a soul reader, astrologer, and artist, and I'm also the creator of 3 oracle decks. So today we're going to be celebrating the new moon coming up, and if you want to track that, I use the Wee Moon date book. So I go and look up the moon. It's going to be in Cancer at 2:44 p.m. Pacific time on the 20th of June. It's also going to be an annular solar eclipse, and I will talk a little bit about that later. So just to begin, we're going to be working with within our sacred circle together today, and I just want you to take a couple relaxed breaths to start and just calm and center yourself. I'm going to do the same. You'll hear me breathing like this throughout, just to encourage you to take relaxed breaths as well. And as we start this new moon circle, I also invite you to call upon any of your guides, the divine, the divine's higher power, whatever you choose to call that, to be with us today in this new moon in Cancer circle and reading. Mother Earth, Father Sky, please be with us today in this new moon circle. I've got some white sage here, and I'm going to light that. So sage grows around my property in Temecula, Southern California, and it's used by the Native Americans to cleanse and purify and bless the space or any sacred activity you're doing. May I live in beauty and I have brush under my feet. May I walk in beauty, and to you also. Also, before we began, I was doing some chakra prayer meditation with my rose sphere to align my chakras and to connect with all those 7 energy centers. So I would be ready for our reading today. So let's begin with just a quick peek at some goddesses, Cancer goddesses, from my upcoming Zodiac Goddess Power Deck. It's a 32 card deck that comes with this little guidebook, 20-page guidebook, and I use the guidebook to set up my altar. So for example, here's the little write-up for Cancer, and I'll look at that. I'll pick gemstones, like I've got moonstone here, and I'm also wearing a pearl. Those are Cancer stones you can work with and put on your altar or wear. I've also got some white flowers that I've picked. And as far as in my little holder here for sage and such, I've got in here I've got some, they appear to be white, probably the Cancer connection, but I've got some sauerkraut, and I've got milk and tarragon, which are plants and herbs associated with Cancer. So we'll turn to the cards. I've got 3 Cancer cards in this deck. The first 2 represent the sign of Cancer, and they portray Cancer as a goddess. And we'll work with those affirmations, but actually let's work with them right now. So for this Cancer painting, her affirmation that you can work with for this new moon as you seed your intent for the month ahead, but because it's the moon, we're seeding inner intent. We're not out there doing so much as we are just being. So her affirmation, I am sensitive and receptive. And with the other Cancer card, Cancer being a water sign, water is emotion, it's psychic intuitive ability, it's what's hidden beneath the surface. Cancer is also a cardinal sign. So of the three water signs, this is the leadership sign. I see the wounded child within us all, and that's her affirmation. Cancer very much connects us with childhood and our home. It's at the very bottom of the natal chart. So it's the most subconscious, sort of the deepest part of our chart that relates to our beginnings. Cancer rules the moon. It's our emotions. It's all that deeply withheld feeling that we can't even necessarily put into words. But it's represented by the moon and by the mother as well. So we've got a Cancer goddess here, Circe. And within the little box that your deck is going to come in, I've written poetry for each of the goddesses within the deck. So I'll read you, she's a Greek goddess. So I'll read you her myth I put into poetry. Circe, she's from Crete. Circe lured sailors with colors and potions divine. Those who were rude, she turned into swine. Powerful. Okay, so now that we've connected with a little bit with the sign of the moon and the fact that this is a new moon, so we're seeding our intentions for the month ahead, inner intuitive intentions. We've got an annular solar eclipse happening, and that means the moon is in between the sun and the earth exactly, almost exactly. You can just see a small ring of fire around the sun. So the sun is not blocked completely, but the moon is blocking the sun. So this means the past is going to be coming forward. The past as represented by the moon and the fact that the sun is being blotted out by the moon. So just look for maybe a blast from the past, something to come forward. Could be a karmic lesson as well that's going to help you move forward karmically in this lifetime. And I won't get into all the astrology of that right now. I do want to get into the cards and pulling some cards for you so you can choose a card to tune into the new moon. Choose a card that'll guide you on the month ahead. I'm actually going to be doing this once a week. I'm going to be doing a reading. There'll be a new moon reading, a full moon reading, and then 2 other readings. And I'll be sharing them on Monday, Moon Day, Lune Day, Lundi in French. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle the lefty deck. This I drew with my non-dominant left hand. My first deck, and the non-dominant hand is the intuitive hand. So this is what awakened me intuitively and pushed me into becoming a soul reader and sharing intuitive gifts and encouraging you. Okay, so that's all shuffled. Let's pull a card. Okay, we won't look at it now. I'm going to have you pick a card first from, I've got 4 decks, and then I'll delve into a little bit of a reading for each card, a short reading. Okay, this is the Zodiac Goddess Power Deck, and I'm going to shuffle card number 2. Okay. Card number 3 is going to be from my Elfin Ally Oracle deck. That's a spirit animal deck. It's got 72 cards. So we're going to pull a spirit animal. Card number 3 is the spirit animal. Okay. And then card number 4, this deck I haven't shared too much before because it's not yet published. It's a fairy, herbal, healing cat deck. It's 80 cards. So I'm going to pull an herbal healing card for the card number 4. Okay, so before we do a little reading, pick your card. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 is the lefty deck, 2 is a goddess, 3 is the spirit animal deck, and 4 is the herbal deck. So pick your card, and I'm going to read the cards next. Okay, are you ready? Okay, card number 1 is the lefty oracle. I'm not going to look at it yet, because this deck I read psychically without looking at it. We'll look at the card later to see if it confirms what I'm getting. Okay, and I'll just take a moment of silence to tune into the card and see what images come up. Okay, just a couple quick images came up. It is spring heading into midsummer right now, and it's important for us, especially with what's going on in the world, to be with nature. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you've got a lot of flowers around. Be with the flowers, spend time in nature. Just absorb yourself into nature and be grateful. Give thanks to Mother Earth. Okay, the second image that came up for me was ancestors. Ancestors and those who've passed, because it's a Cancer new moon and the past is coming up. Take a little bit of time to place maybe some pictures of your ancestors around. You can put them on your altar if you have one. Just take a moment in the evening, maybe light a candle and remember someone special. Ask maybe for a sign, maybe through a dream or some kind of sign, just to say, make that connection. And if you're with someone now who is going to be passing, you may even want to suggest that the two of you come up with a sign. When my birth mother was passing, we talked about that. She was suffering from cancer, and she told me if I see blue butterflies around, or if a glass breaks, that's her. Interestingly enough, the day she passed, I was actually out dancing when I found out. And dancing, she was a dancer. She loved to dance. I mean, she danced for fun. She wasn't a professional dancer. And when that glass broke on the dance floor, I was dancing for her. And I knew she was saying, yes, you go, girl. Okay, so those two things came up, and that's good for that card. So this is the lefty card. If you chose that card, that's Behold. And I'm just going to peek in the guidebook for a sec. This is the, I think it's like 92 pages, but it's a guidebook that comes with the lefty deck. And it comes as a PDF that I printed out. So it comes with a song, what it means, a mantra, expressive body movement, a journal prompt. So if this card appears in a reading, it's from the guidebook, it's time to plunge into the dark and pull out hope. Whatever stressful conundrum you're currently in, know that you have the resources and inner strength and power to find a solution and gain clarity. You can pull it off. She's holding up an apple as if to say, look at what I've done. The mantra is, I delight. Okay, so for card number 2, I'm just going to read that card for just a moment with my eyes closed. This is the Zodiac Goddess Power card, and we'll just see what empowering message we get from this card. Okay, as you know, Mercury retrograde is coming up on the 17th, 18th of this month. So the message I got from this goddess card was, we're going to be moving forward with this new moon. We're putting our intentions out there, but just be aware that it's going to be back and forth with Mercury retrograde. Things that we may put into process may come back. It may come back and forth. It's not going to be like a straight line from here to there, or whenever is it, but especially now, just be aware there's going to be some back and forth. So if you picked card number 2, that's the Sagittarius card, Artemis, and I seek freedom from all oppression is her mantra. So Sagittarius is fire. It's mutable, so it's got a sense of back and forth as well. It's also the arrow. So just be aware you're going to be shooting arrows, but they may kind of go in all different directions just while Mercury's retrograde. So just be prepared. Shoot another arrow. Keep trying. Don't expect the arrow is going to go right to the bullseye, though, during this new moon time. Okay, so the third card, if you pick card number 3, the Elfin Ally deck, spirit animal deck, and that's the wolf. So this might be a card that an animal, spirit animal, if you pick this one, you need to bring that energy and guidance and the wolf's message, the wolf's message into your life. So the key word for the wolf is courage. And the meaning, be brave and strong, for you have a task to do. There you go. Okay, so the last card is from card number 4. If you pick this one, this is from the Fairy Herbal Healing deck. And I don't have the meaning of all the herbs, all 80 herbs in front of me. So this is one you're going to have to research if you picked this particular card. Oh, I love this one. So this is cleavers. That is the name of the herb. I do know that cleavers is, if you're a man, cleavers tincture, which is made from the cleavers plant, is good for the prostate. I do know that. So it's one thing I know about cleavers. So there you go. That's card number 4. And if you do go to my blog afterwards, or if you're signed up for my newsletter, New and Full Moon newsletter, I do expand upon all these cards, and I give you a lot more information from the guidebook. And I'll do that with the herbal card too. Okay, so let's see here. So yeah, I guess that's about it for today. I don't want to keep this video too long. So thank you for joining me. And I just want to take another moment to thank our guides as we end this new moon circle in Cancer. and the divines, higher power. And I hope you have a wonderful week, wonderful new moon, and I will see you next Monday for another card reading. Blessed be.